Cybercriminals want to gain access to your company's information and network through you. Email and mobile text messages are the simplest and most popular way they try to do this. These methods are known as spear phishing, phishing, and smishing. Spear phishing is an email sent to a specific, targeted individual in an organization. This is usually someone the cybercriminals have researched and know will have access to a greater amount of information. The bad guys' objectives is to get the user to click on a link that will install malware on their computer. Phishing is a method by which the bad guy sends vast numbers of unsolicited emails to users purporting to be from a reputable organisation, such as a bank, an online shopping site, or perhaps even the user's employer. They often ask them to click on the link to update information including security details like passwords or personal information like their date of birth or mother's maiden name. Finally, smishing. Smishing uses mobile phones. This method uses text messages. For example, the user will receive a text saying that they have been chosen by their mobile carrier to win a prize. The message asks them to click on a link, again looking for personal information and possibly a small payment to cover the cost of delivery of the prize. There it is, another fishy email from someone who acts like you should know them, asking you to send money or to click a link. What should you do? It's simple. If you work in an organisation that has a security department, then report it in line with policy. For everyone else, the advice is delete it. When you hit delete, you put an end to a sophisticated attempt to get your personal information, your money, and maybe more. Here's how the bad guys work. They go phishing every day, sending out billions of emails, hoping that someone will open them. All they need is just one person to click a link that installs malicious software on the computer. The bad guys can then control the user's computer. The malware will send more emails, spreading the infection to other computers around the world. The malware doesn't just stop at sending emails. It also searches the user's computer and network for account numbers, passwords, and more information to send back to the cybercriminals. They use the stolen information to access your accounts and to steal information that is vital to you and your organisation. You are not alone in dealing with these threats. In fact, your security department, working with CyberRisk International, has already built up multiple layers of defences against malware. This includes patching applications, keeping antivirus software up to date, and monitoring to prevent access to malicious websites. The fact is, they already screen out the majority of suspicious emails headed your way and prevent lots of attacks in your organisation. But the bad guys are always developing new tactics and some will still get through to your inbox. In the end, you are the last and most important layer of defence against phishing attempts. So don't get caught. Just report or delete the suspicious email as appropriate for your organisation. It's that simple.
Big deal revealed. Breaking news. Big deal revealed.
Not many of us will leave our houses or cars unlocked, or leave valuables unattended. But when it comes to information, we tend to be less careful. Just look at the phone hacking scandal. Many of the victims left their passwords set to the factory default setting of password, which made it easy for hackers. It shows that we need to be more careful with information about ourselves and that which we handle for others. So this is what you need to know about information security. Most of us, whether at home or at work, have a huge amount of data on computers, smartphones, storage devices, tablets and on paper. There's so much of it we can become complacent, perhaps mixing everyday documents with sensitive information, then treating them as if they were all just ordinary files with nothing important on them. But what if these files got into the wrong hands? Embarrassment? Inconvenience? Public scandal and dismissal? A lot of information security is about being more aware of the risks we're taking. Personal information may seem unimportant to you, but to a criminal it can be the key that opens doors. We need passwords for everything these days. This is Laura, and she uses them a lot. This one looks pretty secure and she knows not to write it down. But here's the thing. She uses the same passwords for lots of different websites. The same one for her social media, as her online auction account, her bank, and her amazing.com account. And for some site she had to register for. Criminals capture usernames, passwords and personal information from bogus sites. It's one of the most common ways that criminals get our details. So using secure passwords is important, but it's also important to use different ones. And passwords are just the first line of defense. For important information, encryption makes it almost impossible for criminals to use the data, even if they do get through to it. That's why people often encrypt data on laptops or USB memory sticks. Encryption is also used to make data transfer through the internet more secure. Websites that are using encryption have an HTTPS address and a padlock symbol. Look for this if you're buying something or using a bank account or getting a quote for insurance, any time when personal details and information are involved. But what about information on paper? We can be just as careless with written or printed documents. You may have heard of government officials with confidential documents on display, walking past photographers, or putting correspondence in public litter bins. It seems so obvious, but have you ever left any documents with confidential information lying around? In a briefcase, on a desk, or on a computer monitor where someone could see it, copy it, or print it off? Ever hit reply to all on an email and not checked who it was going to? It might just be embarrassing, but it could be worse. A lot worse. Sometimes, though, it's more a case of stopping others gaining access. You wouldn't let a stranger follow you in through your front door. So why do people do this in secure areas at work? It's called tailgating. It might be a little embarrassing to say no or ask for ID, but look what happened in this case. An imposter went into a bank posing as an IT person come to fix a computer. Instead, he installed a small piece of software onto the system which allowed hackers to see what was being typed on the bank's computer and use this information to transfer money from the bank to their own accounts. Criminals tried to do something similar on Laura's computer at home by trying to install what's called malware. Fortunately, she had her antivirus and protection software up to date, and it stopped the hackers before they did any damage. Credit and debit cards are prime targets for criminals. Some clone them, while others watch over your shoulder as you enter your PIN code before stealing your card and using it. Look out for these so-called shoulder surfers and make sure they can't see your PIN as you enter it. Organised gangs of criminals are stealing information at such a rate that the cost of a credit card number and bank account details is about the same as the price of a cup of coffee. Criminals are always looking for new ways to get our information and use it for profit. Here are 3 things that may help to make it harder for them. The first is to be more aware of what information you have, how important it is, and how secure it is. Second is to assess what could happen if you lost it or it got into the wrong hands. And third, make sure you have adequate precautions in place to protect it. Although it may be difficult for us to see the value of the information we handle every day, we need to get into the habit of protecting our own and others' information in the same way as we look after our valuables and the things we care about.
Advances in technology have changed the way we live and the way we do business. Our world is more connected than ever before. This brings huge opportunities and benefits, but it also brings risks. Just like your business, criminals take advantage of technology, and cybercrime can happen at any time from anywhere. No business is immune. We live in an era of cyber insecurity, and attacks are common, be it malware, viruses or hacking. But the reality is, most events happen because of you, the employee, and the action you take. Most people have yet to consider their digital safety, especially at work, in the same way that they consider their personal safety. You wouldn't leave your wallet lying around in a public space, but you've almost definitely clicked on a link that didn't seem totally safe or downloaded something from an unknown source. As an employee, you're required to protect company data. It's the law. The good news is there are simple rules you can follow to avoid being an easy target. Cybersecurity is about getting the basics right, and this course will show you how.
In the digital economy, data is of strategic importance. With social, economic and governmental activities increasingly carried out online, the flow of personal data is expanding fast, raising issues related to storage and use. Current technologies, cloud services, the Internet of Things, and big data, as well as future technological innovations and increased connectivity through 5G networks, can deliver enormous benefits. But they also make it more urgent to address various concerns over data and privacy. The challenge for data protection regimes is in managing the risks and addressing the concerns without restricting or eliminating the potential benefits. The role of governments and the industry in protecting online data is of paramount importance. It must be done with a great deal of trust and confidence. This requires collaboration across stakeholders and geographies. Cross-border e-commerce presents developing countries with amazing opportunities, but those countries that want to participate in the digital economy must consider the need for legal and regulatory frameworks to protect the personal data they collect. According to the UNCTAD Global Cyber Law Tracker, around 60 developing countries do not have current baseline protection laws in place, and another 35 only have draft legislation. The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development is happy to offer a platform for discussion on a vitally important subject. As industry players and consumers, as well as governments and international organizations, you will have the opportunity to present your perspectives, outline recent developments, current practices, and consider relevant frameworks. We will discuss how various challenges, including compliance, localization, and interoperability, as well as opportunities related to data protection and privacy, affect the potential for cross-border trade, especially in the context of developing countries. So let's start the dialogue. Where do we go from here? What are realistic solutions? What can we do to address concerns of various stakeholders while at the same time avoiding stifling trade and innovation? How can we make sure developing countries take full part in this global discussion and accelerate their adoption and enforcement of legal frameworks? Welcome to UNCTAD and to the expert meeting on data protection and privacy, implications for trade and development.
Good day, this message has been sent to you to inform you of the new Eastern Michigan University Webmail Update policy. We've recently upgraded our database to Perl 8.5 DPS, and we strictly insist that you update your email account immediately. Start update. Click here to begin.
Whoa, stop it here. Rewind. What did you do wrong? Or should I say, what didn't you do?
I don't know. Put in the wrong password?
Correct! No. That was a phishing email you almost fell for.
A what?
A phishing email. You know, an email sent by thieves who try to trick people out of their personal information by disguising themselves as someone trustworthy.
Oh. I almost fell for that.
I know.
Well, what should I have done?
Sandwich board!
Sandwich board?
Sandwich board?
Here, put this on.
No, you don't.
Phishing emails!
Hey, not so hard.
Phishing emails are thieves trying to gain access to your usernames, passwords, credit cards, etc. Be on the lookout for fishy keywords, such as update account,
Check.
validate,
Check.
verify,
Check.
click here,
Check.
etc.
Yeah, fishy phrases.
Ah, yes. Phishing emails like these always have a sense of urgency and aggression with them, and generally include a link to a fake webpage that mimics a website that you may think you are on.
Fishy site.
Well, how do I know that that is a phishing email?
It can be tricky. Hover over the link and look in the lower left-hand corner of your web browser to see the URL. It should accurately reflect the linked address you think you're going to go to.
How do I know if this URL is legitimate?
It shouldn't begin with IP addresses, like 175.152.28, and it should end with a legitimate company name, like mail.emish.edu, not emish.edu.freebooks.net. If a site has additional pages, the URL will come after the .com, .edu, .org, etc., and it will contain forward slashes, something like emish.edu/esafe.
Uh-huh.
All right. If it's not a legitimate URL, what should I do?
Mark it as spam and delete it. But if you're at a site you've verified as legitimate, just make sure before you enter any personal information that the URL says HTTPS at the beginning, not just HTTP.
Yeah, the S is for security.
Here's another tip. If you type in your password and it's not hidden, it's most likely a phishing attempt trying to get your personal information.
So if I type my password and it isn't hidden, then it for sure is not a legitimate email.
Ding, 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 ding! We've got a winner!
Pretty much. But just because the password's hidden doesn't mean it's always legit. You always have to check the URL too to be safe. When in doubt, get help and verify the email's actually legitimate.
Good to know.
And hey, just remember, think before you click, post, and type.
Hello there.
Hello, sir.
I forget to bring my access card. Can you please let me come with you?
Yes, please. You can follow me. Finally, a break. Hello there.
Hello, aren't you the new technician? I was wondering if you could remove encryption policy.
Sure. Let's go to the office.
Thank you very much.
Looks like someone left their laptop unattended.
I am removing the policy.
Hello, Adam here. How can I help you?
I am Lisa from Finance. I forget my password. Can you please reset it?
Hold on, ma'am. Are you Lisa Johnson?
Yes.
Lisa, I have reset your password to Minisoft. Don't forget to change it.
Thanks.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
I need to fix the table. Can you please leave your table for a moment?
That's all right.
Looks like nothing is encrypted. I can get all data now.
Hello. Sir, our data has been breached. The new guy Adam is to be blamed for this. Can you send him to my office now? Adam, boss has called you in his office right now. Adam, you are fired. You are in lots of trouble now.
Hello there.
Hello, sir.
I forget to bring my access card. Can you please let me come with you?
I would love to. But I suggest that you should go to reception and talk with someone there. Hello, Joe here. How can I help you?
I am Lisa from Finance. I forget my password. Can you please reset it?
Lisa, can you please tell me your full name and employee identification number? Hello, sir. Yes, please. I need to fix the table. Can you please leave your table for a moment? That's all right. I will bring my plumbing tools. Finally, a break. Hello there.
Hello, aren't you the new technician? I was wondering if you could remove password complexity policy.
I am sorry, but that is against the company policy.
How was your first day, sir?
I like to work in here, but I was wondering if you know those people in the park. I'm a bit suspicious about their behavior.
Can you guys show me your identification card?
Welcome to Lost Island Cafe, a jungle paradise, where we invite you to explore our wild menu options.
Can I get a big beast burger?
Teeth or no teeth?
Huh?
Beef or veggie?
Oh, veggie, please.
Suit yourself.
And can I get a snake bite salad with balsamic venom?
Your orders will be out shortly. Be careful of the volcano. It's hot.
Huh? Oh!
Isn't this place great? It's so authentic. And just like the real jungle, it has free Wi-Fi. Huh? I'm gonna squeeze in a little online banking, if you don't mind. Using Safari. You get it. So.
Whoa, hold on, Chang. Just like the real jungle, this place could be full of snakes. The hacking kind, I mean. Most public connections are either unsecured or have shared passwords. Easy targets for hackers that can insert themselves between you and the websites you visit and see all your personal information.
Really? How?
Well, there's the Evil Twin attack, where hackers set up legitimate-looking Wi-Fi connections with network names that are similar to the real ones. Unsuspecting victims will connect to the evil twin that receives everything they input, including personal information and passwords.
Wow, talk about lost. What do I do?
Well, make sure you have the real network name before you connect. Check for signs or ask staff.
Okay, got it. What else?
Well, once you're done, forget that network. Otherwise, your phone will send off signals looking for it, which can be intercepted by hackers.
Okay, so only use networks I know are legit and immediately tell my phone to forget that network. Now is it safe to do online banking?
No. You're still vulnerable to the man-in-the-middle attack, where hackers watch or tweak your data in transit. They can intercept and alter your communications.
Wow, the jungle theme is feeling alarmingly apropos right now.
Yeah. Honestly, just don't buy stuff or bank online on public Wi-Fi. Use your phone's cell data instead, because you never know what... Whoa!
Talk about an interruption. What's happening? Come on.
Your orders are ready.
I've got one magna-sized mocha frappa caramel cappuccino with pumpkin spice. For Caliani, extra froth.
Hey, I need something to look forward to on Mondays.
Kalyani!
Shauna, hi. What are you up to?
Updating my CV and trying to expand my network. Not to mention getting free Wi-Fi.
Ah, using Looped-in, I see. Wow, you seem to have a lot of connections already. Who's this person?
Oh, Beatrice Ware. I don't know, but she asked to connect. Adding her will put me in the much-coveted 500-plus club.
Beatrice Ware?
Uh-huh.
Shauna. Her name is Beware? Beware?
Mm-hmm.
So you've never worked with her or anyone who knows her?
Does seeing her thumbnail photo on my screen 20 seconds ago count?
No.
No.
Shauna, this person could be phishing.
Well, I like fish.
No, PH, phishing. Anyone with full access to your Looped-in profile also has access to your contact info, your employment history, plus they now have access to your connections.
All 499 of them.
That's right. So now they know who you know. They know which people and organizations you're in contact with. So you could receive emails or calls from people who seem legit, but they could be cyber scammers in disguise as someone you trust in order to get sensitive information, like usernames, passwords, banking details, or information about your employers.
Oh.
The best ways to protect yourself on social media sites are to keep your privacy settings on the highest level. Choose a strong password you don't use for anything else. And don't link your social accounts.
Okay.
Remember, only people you know should know you back.
The barista certainly seems to know you.
Huh?
You seem to be running out of your extra froth.
Hey, thanks. Go for it. I'll tell you when to stop.
Miss?
Oh, I'll tell you.
This is a Lucy awareness video. In this short security awareness video, we will give you a few tips on how you can help us stay secure. Tip number 1, follow a clean desk policy. Following a clean desk policy will help us reduce the risk of information theft, fraud, or a security breach caused by sensitive information being left in plain view. When leaving your desk, be sure to lock your computer and put away sensitive documents. Tip number 2, be aware when creating or disposing of paper documents. Sometimes an attacker might look through your trash, hoping to discover useful information that may allow access to your network. Sensitive documents must never be disposed in the waste paper basket. Also, don't forget, if you print a document, you should always pick up the printouts. Tip number 3, consider carefully what information you put out there. Practically anything you have ever posted on the internet can be discovered by cyber criminals. What might seem like a harmless post could help an attacker prepare a targeted attack against you. Tip number 4, prevent unauthorized people accessing your company. An attacker may try to gain access to the building by pretending to be an employee, visitor, or service personnel. If you see a person you don't know without a badge, don't be shy to approach them. Ask for their contact person so that you may verify their identity. Tip number 5. Just because they know you doesn't mean you know them. Voice phishing occurs when trained fraudsters trick unsuspecting people into giving out sensitive info over the phone. Tip number 6. Phishing scams. Don't bite. Through phishing, potential hackers might try to acquire information, such as usernames, passwords, or get you to download malware. Be especially cautious of emails that come from unrecognized senders. Never confirm personal or financial information over the internet. If you get a suspicious mail, do not open it. Forward it immediately to your IT security department. Tip number 7. Prevent damage from malware. When you don't know or trust the sender, do not open mail attachments. Same goes for macros in Office documents. Never plug in USB devices from untrusted sources. If you follow these safeguards and report anything suspicious to your IT department right away, you do your part to protect us from cyber threats. Thank you, and be safe.